UK seniors. Check this one document. Your social security check could jump. Almost nobody knows. What if the amount you receive each month could actually increase, not because of a brand new benefit, but because of one overlooked document that thousands of seniors never think to review? It may sound surprising, but many people miss important details that can affect their payments, and some don't realize it until it's far too late. The question is, have you already checked yours? In today's video, we're uncovering what this document is, why it's so important, and how a simple review could help you avoid missing out on money you may be entitled to. We'll also explain the common mistakes many pensioners make, the information you should verify, and the steps you can take if something doesn't look right. You don't need to be an expert to understand this, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and why it matters. Don't assume your payments are automatically correct every time. A few minutes of checking the right information could make a real difference. Stay with us until the very end, because there's one crucial detail that almost nobody talks about, but every UK senior should know. And if you find this information helpful, don't forget to like this video and support the channel for more important updates. Imagine discovering that a single document sitting in a drawer, tucked away in a filing cabinet, or buried in an online account could influence whether you're receiving everything you're entitled to. It sounds unbelievable, yet every year many UK pensioners overlook important details simply because they assume everything has already been calculated correctly. The reality is that your payments are based on information held in official records, and if those records contain missing details, outdated information, or contributions that haven't been properly reflected, it could affect the amount you receive. That's exactly why today we're taking a closer look at the one document that every UK senior should know about before assuming their payments are final. Now, before we go any further, it's important to clear up one common misunderstanding. You'll often hear people use the phrase social security when talking about retirement income, especially online. In the UK, however, retirement payments usually involve the state pension and other benefits administered through the Department for Work and Pensions, rather than a system officially called Social Security. Even so, the message remains the same. Reviewing your official pension records can sometimes reveal issues that deserve attention, and that's what this video is really about. Many retirees believe that once they begin receiving their payments, there's nothing more to check. After all, if money is arriving every 4 weeks, why question it? But here's the surprising part. Government departments rely on the information available to them. If national insurance contributions are incomplete, if employment records from decades ago contain errors, or if periods of caring responsibilities weren't properly recorded, those details can have an impact. While mistakes are not the norm, they do happen, and correcting an error can make a significant difference for some people. Think about someone who worked for 40 years, changed employers several times, took time away from work to care for family, then eventually retired believing everything had been processed perfectly. Years later, after checking an official record, they discover contributions from one period of employment were missing from their history. Situations like this remind us why reviewing official documents is never a waste of time. It isn't about expecting a windfall. It's about making sure your records accurately reflect your working life. So what exactly is this document everyone should pay attention to? In many cases, it's your national insurance record together with your state pension forecast. These records show your qualifying years, any gaps that may exist, and an estimate of your state pension based on the information currently held. Many people have never looked at these records because they assume someone else has already checked everything. Unfortunately, assumptions don't always protect you. One of the biggest misconceptions among retirees is believing that reaching state pension age automatically guarantees receiving the maximum amount. That's simply not how the system works. Your entitlement depends on several factors, including qualifying national insurance years and your personal circumstances. For some people, everything is already correct. For others, reviewing their records may reveal opportunities to clarify information or understand why their payment is lower than expected. Another reason this matters is because retirement planning doesn't stop once retirement begins. Financial circumstances change, rules evolve, government guidance is updated from time to time. What was true 5 years ago may not be exactly the same today. That's why staying informed is one of the smartest habits any retiree can develop. Unfortunately, scammers also know that many seniors worry about their pension payments. They often send alarming emails, fake text messages, or unexpected phone calls claiming your payments are about to stop unless you urgently provide personal information. That's why it's so important to rely only on official government communications. Never give bank details or personal information because someone contacts you unexpectedly, claiming there's a problem with your pension. Genuine government departments have established procedures and won't pressure you into making instant decisions over the phone. Now let's talk about another issue that surprises many people. Some retirees assume that if they notice a lower payment than expected, nothing can be done because too much time has passed. In reality, every situation is different. Sometimes the explanation is perfectly legitimate. Other times it may simply require clarification or further investigation. That's why reviewing your records is worthwhile. It gives you the information needed to ask informed questions, rather than relying on guesswork. This also highlights why keeping your own records organized is more valuable than many people realize. Old payslips, employment documents, national insurance information, and official letters may seem unimportant after retirement, yet they can sometimes help explain discrepancies if questions ever arise. Many people throw away paperwork, believing they'll never need it again, only to discover years later that those records would have been incredibly useful. Perhaps the biggest lesson here isn't about chasing higher payments, it's about confidence. When you've reviewed your official records and understand how your entitlement has been calculated, you gain peace of mind. Instead of wondering whether you've missed something, you know you've taken the responsible step of checking. Of course, not every review leads to a change. Many people will find everything is exactly as it should be, and that's good news too. Confirming your records are accurate is just as valuable as discovering a correction because it removes uncertainty. At the same time, those who do identify missing information have the opportunity to contact the relevant authorities, seek clarification, and understand what options may be available under current rules. But there's another document that many retirees completely overlook, one that could be just as important as your national insurance record, and, in certain circumstances, may explain why your payments are different from someone else's, even if you both worked for similar lengths of time. This overlooked detail has confused thousands of pensioners over the years, and understanding it could completely change how you view your retirement income. If you've stayed with us this far, you've already learned why checking your national insurance record and your state pension forecast can be one of the smartest financial habits for any retiree. But now, let's uncover the second document that many people rarely think about, even though it can help explain why one person's retirement income looks very different from another's. That document is your state pension award letter, or pension decision notice. Once you begin receiving your state pension, this letter outlines how your payment has been calculated and can provide valuable insight into your entitlement. Many people read it once when it arrives, file it away, and never look at it again. Years later, they can't remember what it actually said or why they received the amount they do. This is where confusion often begins. Two neighbors may have reached retirement around the same time, yet one receives a higher weekly payment than the other. Rumors quickly spread that someone has discovered a secret increase or hidden bonus. In reality, there usually isn't a mystery at all. Differences in national insurance contributions, periods of contracting out, or individual work histories can all affect the final amount. That's exactly why comparing your payments with someone else's rarely tells the full story. The only figures that truly matter are the ones based on your own official record. Another reason to keep these documents accessible is that life doesn't stand still after retirement. You might move house, change banks, update personal details, or need to contact the relevant department about your pension. Having your official paperwork available makes those conversations much easier. Instead of trying to remember dates or payment figures from memory, you'll have the information right in front of you. It's also worth mentioning that many headlines online use dramatic phrases like hidden payment, secret increase, or money the government doesn't want you to know about. Those claims often create unnecessary confusion. The reality is much simpler. There isn't a secret form that automatically unlocks thousands of extra pounds for everyone. What really matters is making sure the information held about you is accurate and understanding the rules that apply to your own circumstances. That's far less sensational than the headlines suggest, but it's also much more useful. One of the most common mistakes retirees make is assuming that because they have received the same amount for years, nothing could ever change. While many payments remain stable except for scheduled uprating, circumstances can evolve. Government policies may change. Eligibility for certain benefits can depend on individual situations, and keeping your information current is always important. Staying informed helps you recognize official updates rather than relying on rumors shared through social media or forwarded messages. Let's imagine another example. A retired couple hears from a friend that everyone over a certain age is about to receive a substantial payment increase. Excited, they wait for the money to appear. Weeks pass, nothing changes, and they become convinced that a mistake has been made. Eventually, they discover that the story circulating online misunderstood a policy announcement and did not apply to everyone. Situations like this happen more often than many people realize. That's why checking official information before celebrating or worrying is always the wiser approach. There is another point that deserves attention. Many people focus only on the amount arriving in their bank account and never think about the documents behind it. Yet those documents tell the complete story. They explain your qualifying years, how your entitlement has been calculated, and what information the authorities used to determine your payment. Understanding those records puts you in a much stronger position if you ever need to ask questions or request clarification. If you're helping an elderly parent, grandparent, or another family member, this advice can be just as valuable. Many older adults are uncomfortable navigating online accounts or interpreting official letters. Sitting down together and reviewing those documents calmly can provide reassurance and help identify anything that may need further attention. Even if everything turns out to be correct, you've gained confidence that nothing important has been overlooked. It's equally important to protect these documents carefully. They contain personal information that should never be shared with strangers. If someone contacts you unexpectedly claiming they can increase your pension immediately in exchange for personal details or a fee, treat that approach with extreme caution. Genuine government services do not operate that way. Always verify who you're dealing with before providing any sensitive information. At the end of the day, this video isn't about promising that every viewer will suddenly receive a larger payment. That wouldn't be honest. Instead, it's about something much more valuable: making informed decisions. Some people will review their records and discover everything is completely accurate. Others may identify missing information, outdated details, or questions worth raising with the appropriate department. Either outcome is worthwhile because you're replacing uncertainty with knowledge. The biggest takeaway is surprisingly simple. Never assume that, because a payment arrives regularly, there's nothing left to understand. Your retirement income represents decades of hard work, contributions, and planning. It deserves the same attention today as it did when you were still working. Taking a little time to review your official documents could help you better understand your entitlement avoid unnecessary confusion, and ensure your records reflect your circumstances correctly. So, if you've never checked your national insurance record, your state pension forecast, or your state pension award letter, consider making time to review them. You may find everything is exactly as it should be, which brings valuable peace of mind. And if something doesn't look right, you'll be in a much stronger position to seek clarification through the proper official channels. Knowledge is one of the most powerful tools any retiree can have, and staying informed is always better than relying on assumptions or internet rumors. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I hope this video has helped clear up some of the confusion surrounding state pension records and shown why one simple document can be far more important than most people realize. If you found this information useful, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss future updates that could affect UK seniors. And before you leave, tell us in the comments, have you ever checked your national insurance record or your state pension forecast? Your experience could help someone else who may be wondering the very same thing. Until next time, stay informed, stay careful, and take good care of yourself.